First boss done. Time to start the journey for the second boss. But before we look into that, let's talk about the elephant in the room. It's a difficulty level. So whenever you start Windrose, you need to be very honest to yourself. On the starting island, try to kill a blue dodo, one of these azure dodos. If that is too heavy for you, if that takes too much, then reduce your difficulty level. So I'm not very good with dodging and so on, so that's why I gave myself a 50 everywhere. That means I selected easy and then reduced it even down from 70 to 50 everywhere. In co-op with my might we found that 60 is a good value, but even using the standard 70% of easy is too hard for me. I can't do my first dodos. So try to be honest to yourself, test yourself. How difficult is it to kill the first blue azure dodos? And according to that, adjust it. If it's too heavy, start again until you found the right level. Problem is, changing the value later on is, as it is currently in August 2026, very difficult. You can see here a friend of mine with whom I play co-op found a way how to fix it in Windows later on, but it's quite a cumbersome technique of manually throwing files around. So set up your difficulty level in the very beginning to a level which allows you to kill comfortably a dodo, a blue dodo. That's very important. Yeah, and after that's done, the game is actually fun. So my base improved nicely during the run to the first boss. You can see here my 3-level warehouse. I'm doing now more and more ship fights because that's a nice way to collect some crates which can be sold on the market to make some money. And I get all these skulls which give me the chance to level up in the eyes of the factions, which is an important thing if I want to get more stuff unlocked for my base build. See, here we are. I'm level 6 currently. I got again some more of these skulls. I want to sell those, deliver those in Taratuga at the market. And these letters are also quite nice to improve my reputation in the eyes of the factions. At this stage in early access, you can level up only until level 4 in your reputation for all the factions. I strongly suggest nicely storing all skulls which you collect beyond that, because it can be expected that with the upcoming updates we may have to unlock further levels. Going for the market in Taratuga. And first thing I do, I'm now dropping off the skulls. Yeah, with that guy I like to go shopping, but first I have to increase my reputation.
Hard times.
Currently I'm level 3, I want to reach 4, quite a bit to go. So it's more than just a half an hour ship battle, so you need to do a few runs to get it done. And with that I'm coming closer to 4. No, how far do I get? Yeah, not really yet. Just 1, okay. Yeah, still a bit missing, so I have to do some more. But that's the way to go, to increase my reputation at the factions. And having done so, I have now the chance to buy more stuff, which I can use for my building. See here, marble and tiles, quite nice, columns. Oh, roof extras, okay. So there's quite some interesting stuff I can buy. I think I pick the roof stuff because I really like to improve my roofs. And yeah, then you can go back to a base and try out those new things. My base is still very basic, 1 building, 3 level. Second level I have all my warehouse stuff. And I had no idea yet really how to utilize the 3rd level properly, so I just dropped in the ship stuff. Kept building a bit more, improved the roof a bit, Yeah, I'm rebuilding my houses all the time. I have even a little corner there with beds for my teammates. But the NPCs, for whatever reason, don't make it up here. I reckon they struggle a little bit with these stairs. Maybe the entry to the stair. The roof here is a bit flat. I mean, not very high. So I need to work on that one too on the long run. I already have a double-sided door and he's still in the way. Yeah, I really like my little bonfire here on the top of the veranda. A bit unconventional, but hey, I can, so why not? And that's my starting area with all the workbenches. I added some beams to make it look a little bit more realistic because there's quite some weight, and I doubt that just a few branches can really hold the weight of all my storage. I have been able already to improve a little bit the look of my smelters. I see the corners in the kitchen area got a bit more fancy. So the first things I could unlock by buying it on the market in Tortuga had been really nice. I'm looking forward to get more. And I go more for ship fights, and I noticed that I'm not really very good in just jumping in and fighting with the masses, especially since the space on the ships is very limited. And that gives me not enough space to dodge around. I always have 3-4 people from all the sides. See, when I'm running here, they're coming at me from all corners, and it's really hard to stand. Yep, bang, dead. That's why I prefer working with a musket, standing on my ship and then just with a musket shooting into it. Then I got trouble with this ship, and I thought, hey, I have been building a large bridge before. Why not building a long bridge to that ship and then increase it a bit so that I can shoot with a musket from above? But here I had to learn I can't build bridges all the way, it's not working. So at some depth in the ocean, bridge building is not working anymore. So I really had to do it by ship. Which at this point in time was a little bit much. So I decided, hey, since I'm around here anyway, why not having a look for the island? And I went in, and these are the new kind of islands which have become accessible, where there is some iron, which becomes quite essential after the first boss. Yeah, some goats, yep. Yeah, the male goats here are really a problem in the beginning. Later on, they're quite easy. But at this stage, I think I'm level 6 at this time, they're a little bit on the tougher side. But again, if you're not a champion in dodging, the musket is your friend. Whenever you come to those bases with lots of enemy, it's important to have a tent first, so I have a respawn point, otherwise you have to do all the way again. And in the beginning these guys really made me busy, so I died quite a few times when trying up to clean these areas of enemy. And then yeah, wolves are around too. They're even more annoying than the goats to me, because the goats are straightforward. You can do your smack thingy and that actually works. Stops their attacks with a smack. But the wolves are smarter. They retreat for a moment before they attack again. And if you do what you've seen here, if you run into the crowd and you're running out of stamina, then oh, I can't properly move, and that makes it very hard. Yeah, the old tactic of doing just a few smacks and then stepping aside to recover the stamina, then counter-attack again, works mostly, but like here, I ran out of stamina, and that is not really good, so I spawn again. That's why I had the tent there. This one was, by the way, one of the more amusing little buildings. I really like this puzzle setup. And whenever you are in these ruins, always think about you can build stuff on your own. That means here I had been building myself not just light sources, I also did build myself some stairs. And little hint, wink wink, when you are on or in any ruin that has lots of these pikey thingies which contact platforms on the ground, and you can't pass these paths because the contact platforms are triggering the pikes to come in and smash you to death, simply build a bridge above. If you build a little bridge above, you're not touching the ground, no floor contact, and then you're fine. This guy is quite annoying because when he bites me, I'm always gone. So I have to get him before, so if he takes me by surprise like now, it's not really fun. But the tent is nearby, so I go in again, and believe me, and these ruins are spawned quite a few times before I managed to get my stuff done. Collect my old stuff, and now here's a guy, and when I attack, I'm at an advantage. So that looks quite nice. It's only if they take me by surprise and they can bite me and I'm gonna. Yeah, this here was about placing fire bolts on top of these mini metal columns, plus there are some vases. These vases are actually not for making fire. Wrong try here. They are for being stored on some buttons you see it on the right. They are only there to trigger some buttons as a weight, and that gives you the opportunity to bring in then the last missing fire bowls and turn them on, and if all of them are burning, then ta-ta, the gate is opening directly behind me. Yep, always look around, there could be still an enemy in it. And ta-ta, one level up. So it's really, really, really important, similar to what you may have experienced when you had your run for the first boss. It continues when you go for the second boss. You need to do the quests. Doing the quests is a way to level up. Super duper important. Plus, if you've just seen the quests are giving me some extra stuff for my own building, unlock some more building features, which is very nice, not just money. But it gives me also the XP to level up. And with that, when I level up, I can not only just make my figure stronger by giving it more points, it's also about upgrading weapons and stuff. Here I struggled a lot in the beginning with these tents. You see, I digged around a lot because I thought, where the heck is this second box? And I digged and found nothing. And it took me quite some time to notice that there, next to these tents, always one tree, not directly next to it, but in the near proximity. And next to that tree, I have to dig to get the second box. Yeah, I got now more nicer roofs, so I rebuilt that house again. And you can see I built a second house directly next to the veranda. So my warehouse got a new roof and a second house being built. I unlocked meanwhile some mahogany stuff. Nice floor. Got better stairs. So yeah, I think I can do something with that space. Under development. Yeah, and I changed this slightly, made a bit bigger the veranda. Got no nicer arches, stone arches. And here I want to do something for the tradies, for the salespersons. That should be fun. Yeah. You notice even different windows here? That's very nice, yeah. You get, during the game, lots of different windows. I still struggle with getting a nicer door. I would love to have a mahogany door. And at this stage in the game, for some reason, my NPCs love to sleep in my bed. That tells me I need to think about giving them space too. So I started ramping up on the other side of the warehouse, a building area with houses, which then shall include all the workspaces and some beds for my NPCs. Hopefully that frees up my own room. I did not give up on that ship where I couldn't build a bridge. So having leveled up a bit and leveled up also my weapons and have a lot of food with me, I decided I'd try to attack them, but I can tell you already that was nothing glorious. So I needed quite a few landings per ship, jump on deck. When I had been lucky I killed 1 or 2 of them, and then I had been dead. There's already quite a lot gone. So that was quite a tough one, and I really don't like it that I can't really go away, I can't dodge really. So once my stamina is a little bit down, that's usually game over. And more coming out of the ship from the bottom. Super duper annoying, so be prepared that you need a few runs there, at least I need a few runs. If you're a super duper gamer and you had no problems, let's say with Witcher 3, then it should be fine for you here. But I made it through Witcher 3 only with a mod that made the fights a bit more easy. So I'm definitely not a Souls guy. But hey, cleaned it. Now let's have a look. What's in the ship? Anything there? Yeah, something shiny here. And that's it. Quest done. I find these things a little bit anticlimactic. I mean, there's a long fight, really, a hard fight, and then just a tick box. Yeah, you did it. Thank you very much. So there should be at least an NPC giving you some glory or picking up a unique item that you can use in your base build. So something needs to be added there to make it really worth it to do these long repeating fights to finish off a quest. Yeah, after I gained my friend the pig truffle at the altar, I continued building in my base, and I noticed that whenever I start the game, Dr. Galen decided to stand here on the railing. I turned the bonfire around, I expanded the size of my veranda. The guy always pops up there on the railing. I have no idea why. I replaced the railing type, he is still there. He really loves standing there, and then he can't move because there's no way down. Yeah, finally I just gave in and put up little stairs there, these bamboo stairs, and that allowed the doctor to get down, and he started walking around. I have no explanation for that.
A little common sense in the world around me.
Must be the way I positioned the bonfire, but again I turned it a few times without any result. It always pops up the same point. Yeah, I built a little garden area. No idea if that's big enough. It looks very nice when you lower the garden soil and put some stone fencing around it, and then I expanded my harbor. This little thing here did eat a lot of stones. Oh my god. Yeah. And the whole purpose is that I want to have a kind of V shape, and in the middle comes the main area for the ship. Here's my little bell. I always have to run now through this shed where I want to store ship relevant items. And since I got a new boat, I need to expand the pier a little bit. Looks really nice, this new boat. It's a brick. Yeah. Very nice. Yeah, works continued. Meanwhile, the houses which I had started, you've seen it, grew a little bit. For some reason, pigs are spawning here all the time. Quite annoying. Go away. And from this area, that's why I stayed on the main island. It's very comfy because I have a direct run to a nearby mine. And having a constant supply of copper and from other islands, the iron is quite important. Of course, it also gives you stone. And that's the best way really to ramp up your amount of stones in your warehouse. Of course, for the base building, I need a lot of stones. I've seen some videos on YouTube with guys showing some really exquisite builds for the pirates. Looks awesome. And they're doing a lot with wood. That looks really amazing, I must admit. It's not my level. I'm a bit more basic. I like my arcade. I like the limestone with a rustic look. And then I got these little poles here. I'm not really sure if I like them because I have the stone stuff below, but I do like these reed roofs. And having the stuff a bit more in a rustic look. And having new stairs there, look. I have my doubts with this door here because it's quite low. And I notice that NPCs don't like it when you have low doors. My NPCs definitely prefer high double door doors if they want to walk through. Then comes the next big thing.
This doesn't belong in a museum.
If you want to buy more building stuff, unlock more building stuff, you need gold. And there's a way to change your silver into gold. Well, I think it's driven by the numbers, which I mentioned in the very beginning where I set up your difficulty level. Because 50 smells very much like I did something there when I edited it. And 50 is a good value to me. Gives me some proper gold with which I can now go and
That's the best we've got.
buy or unlock some more master plans for my building area. Quite a few to go. You see, meanwhile I leveled up to 4. I'm fine here. And what I'm missing are in between levels. So when you go shopping here, it's all about immediately luxury, elegant, yada yada yada. I do not see any furniture for outdoor or working area. I mean, who is placing such a mahogany seat into a working environment? What I'm missing is some more rustic chairs, which can be placed outside, which look a bit weathered. There is later on when you can buy it, a hunter set, but the wood on that looks okay, but why on earth would I attach animal skeletons to seats which I try to have comfy? This hunter set makes no sense to me. So I really think there's something missing yet in this game regards the sets that you can unlock. There should be first a set of rustic weathered wood for chairs and tables which you can place outside in work environments. And then later should come all this mahogany stuff, the fancy stuff. Yeah, I teared down the warehouse completely. Use the upper level now for lots of beds for my NPCs. So they got now a proper sleeping room. Very nice. The houses have been finally finished. And on lower level, I did set up myself the warehouse area anew, less space intensive, very nicely double layer, so it's easy to reach everything. And beyond that, yeah, the garden is growing nicely. Flax is super important because only with that I get more textile. So whenever you run around in the foothill islands, pick up flax and get some seeds. Yeah, I built myself a smelter house. I like that one. Only problem is when I finished it, the smelters told me they're not working with a roof on top. Didn't know that up front. So I did something that looks semi-optimal, but it works. I built a chimney which is very, very large. You can see it here all across all the smelters. And with that I can place my house around, and the gym and the smelters are fine because there's no roof above them. Yeah. So such a mega chimney does the job, and I have my smelter house, which I kind of like because, hey, who would run them in the open? Of course I had to do a little extra storage now for all the smelting content. On the left everything was iron and wood, on the right everything was copper. And I made some progress downstairs in the captain's house. I have now my sales people here. I think that looks quite alright, very neat and tidy. All I need are now a few tables for people to sit there and have a chill time. I replaced the original starting area where I had all my kitchen stuff and all my smelters with a nice relaxed beauty area just for relaxation. I like the little fountain. That's a bigger one, but I think realistic. Where would all the water come from? So yeah, I like the smaller fountain a bit more realistic, and especially when you put some lights around it. It looks awesome at night. And I left everything that, even the rustic stones, by historical reasons, because that's how I started. I wanna see my little base growing. I'm not scratching it down everything and then restart. I just want the thing to grow. Yeah, and that area still some space left. Downstairs my motor jaw has a chance now to create some gunpowder for me, and that's a storage area that you've seen already before, where I now placed some crates where I can store stuff from the ships. Very nice. That's very useful. Highly recommend. The main problem is that the bonfire has a very limited radius, which is from the bonfire to about here where I'm now. So that's the only radius where NPCs actually can act. So the last building I could include, in a way that it can still be used by the NPCs, is this kitchen area. Hadn't unlocked any fireplace yet, and so I built my own little chimney setup. Well, I think I can do some with it. There's still lots of details missing, so detailing still has to continue. So I have some water. You need always water in the kitchen. And yeah, I had to do this unusual shape because Recall my harbor has a V shape. A V shape where the ships are in the center, and on the axis of the V's, I'll show you later, I have a little bit of a defense placed. A sneaky ally on the side. And there's a further salesperson selling resources, a little bit more on the rustic side. Behind that I get my leather racks done. And my textile production. I think that's a quite efficient way to use the space. I have no idea really yet what to do with that room. I placed a jewelry here. I think for the time being I might just drop in here some decorations, but it definitely would give me more space in case further production elements will be unlocked later in the game. Let's see. Since I'm a little bit on the hilly side, I utilize that for having more stairs in, which really makes it feel better. Here's the area with all the workbenches. Now a little bit more filled. I really need to change the lights, of course, to make it look better. So everything at this stage very much work in progress. And the alchemy corner, not too shabby. Then this round stairs going up. I've never seen an NPC using that. I built it primarily for having this nice look on the captain's house. Through the window there, yeah, that looks quite alright. So I reckon this room is just used for decorational purposes. Yeah, more time now to explore. I learned that food is super duper important. Leveling up your clothes and weapons is important. But having additional the right food on your hand to have a bit more endurance is definitely recommended. And with that, I followed up on the quest line. You see in the mini-maps there's a yellow flag. That is for the story quest, which leads then to the second boss. Yeah, lots of friends want to say hello. It's really annoying when you run away from 2 or 3 seamen and the musketeers also around. So these musketeers are always what I try to get first, but somehow here they have been hiding in the bushes. So I just try to run around the rock to get a bit of cover from a musketeer. And, it's getting a bit narrow. That's why next lesson learned, these shortcut keys 1 to 8 are super duper important. In the very beginning I did not realize how important it is to have food and healing potions on my hand on these shortcut icons. That is super duper important. Because when you're running around like here, you don't want to open up your inventory and hand select stuff. You want to access it quickly, and for that you need to have it on your hand. By the way, what you see on number 6, that thingy is for calling Truffle, the pig you've seen before, which I got out of the altar. It's not super strong, but very useful to make enemies busy, so I have more time to shoot on them or smack them. Yeah, quite a few guys. My musket got better. I'm quite impressed. In the beginning, my musket was nothing more than a user-friendly massage stick, but now it starts really to hurt. And I'm pumping points into the musket whenever I can to ramp it up. Plus I'm utilizing a head and a ring that increases my firepower. Okay, there's something. And you can see I found again some more unlocks for inventory. So if it comes to building the base, buying the stuff at the market turret to that one thing, but doing the quest is at least as important if it comes to unlocking little details, which is very nice.
Breathe the canvas.
Yeah, I'm trying the boarding here. And again, since I'm not really good with standing on the enemy stack, I try to get done as much with a musket as possible. For me, as I'm a below average player, I think that's the right way to go, to stand somehow safe. But it requires that I'm always a little bit above the other ship, which is not always the case. So here it's quite comfy. I have a chance really to see the enemy and shoot at the enemy. But still you can see it's very tricky because everyone is constantly on the move. And my own teammates are really brilliant to jump in front of the enemy when I try to shoot. So I'm ending up to shoot a lot of times on my own people, which is quite sad. Okay, done this one. That was a success. I leveled up, nice. And then I think, again, yeah, there should be something more in the ship, yeah? So, can't be just a, yeah, you did the job, thank you very much. There's nothing. There is absolutely nothing. It's, again, very anticlimactic. I think, especially when there's this quest thing is, and you have to take a ship, and it's a bit on the harder side to get it done, there should be a special reward for it. I highly recommend to the developers to offer in those quest lines some unique items, trophies or something. Or specific shiny tableware which make look your base a bit better. To have something special that you can only get via those quests. Okay, you see here a few of my death crates standing around. Because again I died a few times. So whenever you take a base like that, first build your tent directly next to it. And go in, like here. This one's really full of enemy. Oh no. So I'm able to get 2, sometimes 3, but then usually I'm going low on stamina. And if then any musketeer comes along, an enemy musketeer, then it gets really tricky. Yeah, that is the area for the second boss. And someone was showing on YouTube that if you build here platforms, then the feet of the platforms are going through and imprison the second enemy. Let me show you. Platform. If I place it exactly here in the middle, then the legs are going up to the ground. And you can just place multiple platforms, turns a little bit, and that imprisons the enemy. Yeah, I'm not doing that because I think it feels a little bit like a cheat. So I'm already adjusted the difficulty level to something more feasible for me. Any cheat on top of that may not be very good. Time to go in for the second boss. Yeah, this time I have some coffee on my hand. Yeah, recall key number 6, calling my pig friend. That's an important one, having the right food and having heaps of healing potions on the hand, super duper important. That's a fast travel station. Every boss has a fast travel station nearby. I'm level 11. I check my points that I've placed. And you can see I placed a lot, which is supposed to support musket and my saber. That's my progression table. You can see I pumped it all into musket. Yeah, that's simply what I picked up now on the way to the second boss. Further stuff for base building, not relevant for the fight, but nice to have. Yeah, a lot of healing potions, food, and you can see I have a lot of munition with me. And a lot of black powder. That's really important. Because I will use that a lot. My reliable musket. I love it. There shall be better weapons in the game, but I haven't found them. And I'm very happy with these two as they are leveled up. My clothes focused on marksmanship. And my focus on marksmanship and musket is simply because I'm not really good in dodging. So if it comes to blocking in time, my reaction time is just horrible. Maybe I'm too old, don't know. And my pinky is still not really into it to go down in the right time. Meanwhile, I managed to do a bit of forward dodging, since when I run forward to press the left control key additional with pinky. But if it comes to sidewise sliding, so dodging to the side, I'm really a living disaster. That's why I'm honest to myself. No close combat here. I do my musket. Yeah, that's the one if you want to do it again. Got some more stuff, whatever that's for. Gotta go down. This one's in case you want to redo the fight. If I get it done once, I'm already happy. I don't need to redo it to win more beautiful. I'm already happy if I win at all. And I'm going in, and the big running starts, running in circles. You can see the guys very quickly with me. And it's all about running a circle, which, yeah, when he shouts something, then I really need to use my pinky and push control. Just having an extra slide while running forward is already doing the job. So I very carefully need to listen if the guy is shouting anything. Oops, that's a bit very close, uncomfortable. Nah, where is he? Oh, there. Shot placed. So far so good. He's busy with truffle. This pick is awesome. So I can place 3 to 4 shots on the enemy. Before the pick is gone. You see, this guy tries to jump aside when I shoot. That's why the shots are working better when the enemy is a bit closer. It's a bit of a scary one, but it works. So, reloading, that was a good shot. He jumped away. No, yeah, let him come and then shoot. The tricky bit is, don't stay too long when you've done your shot. You need to be on the run. Because once he has you, it's really painful. Yeah, he's directly behind me. Yep. Well dodged, you hey. Nah, not that much. I need to heal. Very good. Yeah, very often it's very often it is just the best guess based on the sound, what the distance may be. If I stay too long just looking where it is, then he's getting closer. It was uncomfortably close again. But it was a nice way to give him a shot from a very short distance like that. So he has problems to jump aside. Very nice. Now. Oh. Ooh. I think here the game was very friendly to me. I'm not sure if the behavior of the bosses is changing drastically when you have your difficulty level positioned differently. So I'm playing it with difficulty level, everything put on 50 as explained at the very beginning. And I have the gut feeling that a few times when the bosses are close to me, they are wasting a little bit of time to give me a chance to run away, which may be a result of the difficulty level I'm using. And I can tell you, even with that, it's still exciting enough. So it really depends on where's the fun for you in a game like this. So if you are a Souls player, or if you've done your Witcher 3 without any mods and survived every single fight, then you can go for a higher difficulty level, because then you're really good in combat. But if you are somebody like me who favors building, who favors a diversity of stuff to do in the game, and for whom the fights are only a tool to proceed, but not the main purpose, then it's definitely nicer and more fun if the fights are a bit more on the easy side, like it is here. That's why again and again, when you start this game, when you start Windrose, check out what you can do with the first blue dodo, the azure dodo, and find out how difficult it is. It should not be super easy, but it should be in the way that with less than 2 respawns you're able to beat that dodo in the very beginning of the game. That would be a good difficulty level to go through the game, based on your personal skill set and how good you are in combat. And again, at the moment this game has a bug that you can't really edit difficulty levels later on. That's why you really have to do it. Start the game, check the dodo. If it's too difficult, start again, do it again, delete the autosave, start again, lower the difficulty level, and only once you are fine with the first dodo, not too easy, but at least in a way that you can manage it, then you should continue with the game and really start the playthrough. Yay! Done on the first try.
This is where I see.
He has done that. Was the second boss. Very, very nice and convenient. Yeah, thank you very much for listening and looking. My little chamber improved a little bit. I have now a sleeping place here. I still need to find a proper board that fits in because the straw thingy doesn't work. Bye bye.